Matthew writes us, I agree wholeheartedly with your advice on protein, veggies, and water, and I've had some recent success stripping back my diet to these basic elements as part of my Lenten commitment. Well, good. That's interesting. However, I just can't quit nicking. Oh, you must be British. The odd pint of full fat milk 2 or 3 times a week before bed. I drink it rather than drinking alcohol or eating desserts of any kind, and I have continued to drop weight from 94K to 89 since Pancake Day. I don't see milk much talked about these days beyond the horrible go mad gallon of milk a day diet. So I'd like to ask you what you think of milk as a lifter's nutrition, and do you have any advice for the highly lactose tolerant? Now, okay, if you meant intolerant, then I don't. I mean, yeah, if you're intolerant of lactose, I mean, I guess there's pills and I guess there's stuff you can add, but I mean, the best advice is don't drink it. For highly tolerant, like me, I'm highly tolerant. I would just slide us back to one of the most interesting people in history. This is my good friend Clarence Bass. This is his first book, Ripped. This is Rip 3, Rip 2's in the other room. The other books are in the other room. I'm just reread. Actually, it's interesting. Right now. I'm rereading 2. I reread these 2, and now I'm rereading 2. And one thing, Clarence is perfectly clear. Now, he's a bodybuilder who's trying to get your body fat down to 2.4% body fat. I mean, that is just, and it was water weighed, so there's some truth to it, and he looks it. He has no issues with fat, full fat milk. He in Ripped, he has a couple recipes where he drinks it every night with he turns it into a homemade chocolate shake. I think he adds saccharin to it, which is an older sugar substitute. I'm sure there's better stuff now. Of course, he did that in '77, so things have changed. And then I think he adds a chocolate or something like that to give himself a nightly chocolate malt. So no, I mean, if your calories are on, you should be okay. I know that milk got a bad rap a while ago. And it is true, certain people are lactose intolerant, but it's just like gluten intolerance. It comes in such a spectrum. I mean, there's one of the people I work with. Gosh, I mean, if you kick, you rub a piece of bread here, they're sick for days. My friend Mike Warren Brown has a buddy who he's one bite from being diarrhea and vomiting for days. One taste of gluten. And then there's more people like in my case. It's not that I don't think I'm gluten intolerant, but I certainly notice some of the bad stuff when I do gluten. But it's not like I can't eat bread. But if I do start really pounding down certain kinds of bread, especially over a while, I see the difference. And the old joke is, you don't want to spot me when I'm eating a lot of bread. On the milk side, there's going to be a whole bunch, and it's funny. I can't wait to find out I'm going to see down below, because the psychopaths always come out when we talk about milk and wheat and lunges and burpees. Seriously, man, before you post, get a life. But if milk doesn't bother you and you find it satiating and keeps you from doing other really high concentrated calorie stuff, my blessings go with you. And I know someone's going to, we shouldn't be drinking the milk of other mammals. And okay. And the other day I was talking to the dandelions in front of my house, and I said, you shouldn't be in my grassy lawn. I certainly say that many of us got away from milk when the numbers came out in the 70s about how so many people had gluten and lactose issues. But I think a lot of that stuff, I remember reading it, but I don't remember what kind of studies they were. I don't remember if they were check marks. Yeah, bread bothers me, milk bothers me, or actual studies. So you always got to be careful about that kind of thing. I'm just reading a study right now about 12 people who had 12 people had this thing happen to them, and a limb versus limb study. And they found that one limb, when they did this one thing, got stronger than the other limb. And my thought was, it's 12 people. It's 12 people. It's 12 people. I mean, if you had 1,000 people and 500, 400 did this, 400 this, 200 did that, then you'd have some numbers to play around with. But so for me, I just have to do this a little bit. If you like milk, my body likes milk until it doesn't. So that's how I deal with it. I mean, I can certainly have a glass of milk right now, but if I was to drink a gallon, I get those weird cyst acne, the ones that almost look like weeping mosquito bites. That's attractive, isn't it? All right. Well, I hope that helped. Thank you.